among themselves. I want to highlight a few other things about this class. Class of 2024 graduates led our law journals to thoughtful and successful legal symposia, including the Kentucky Law Journal's Symposium on State Supreme Courts, to explore the role of state Supreme Courts as laboratories of democracy. That was also to honor the legacy of one of our graduates, the law class of 1977, recently retired Kentucky Supreme Court Justice John D. Minton, Jr. Members of the class of 2024 were responsible for renaming and revitalizing trial advocacy competitions, particularly that known as the Battle of the Bluegrass. A member of this class won the 2023 Kentucky Bar Association Student Writing Competition for his article discussing how federal law limits recovery after data breaches. Members of this class served as appointed members of a student-led advisory board dedicated to advising college leadership about initiatives focused on diversity, equity, and inclusion. Members of the class of 2024 organized the first ever Outlaw Banquet, an event celebrating the advancements in the law respecting LGBTQ+ individuals. The class of 2024 also featured nationally recognized student competitors, including one graduate awarded Best Oral Argument at the Thurgood Marshall Moot Court Competition. Additionally, one of our national moot court teams, composed exclusively of members of the class of 2024, won the regional competition in Richmond, Virginia, and finished in the top 16 teams in the country. Right? Wonderful. Members of the class of 2024 volunteered in the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program Clinic, preparing hundreds of tax returns for low-income taxpayers, collectively saving clients over $100,000 in tax return fees. Finally, members of this class taught real-life lessons in law and government to high school students through the Street Law program. They provided pro bono legal services throughout Lexington, central Kentucky, and underserved areas of eastern Kentucky. And they organized drives to collect supplies and funds for communities affected by floods in eastern Kentucky and tornadoes in western Kentucky. Throughout these and countless other activities, the class of 2024 showed a commitment and compassion that will continue to serve them as they begin their legal careers. We look forward to watching all the things that you accomplish and all the meaningful impacts you have on the law, the profession, in your communities, and in the world. Thank you. Now, I will call on representatives of the graduating class, the faculty, and the legal profession to extend brief greetings and remarks on behalf of those groups. To extend the greetings of the graduates, it is traditional for the student who ranks highest academically in the class to deliver remarks. This year, our student speaker is Lauren Eichholz. Ms. Eichholz is a native of Paducah, Kentucky. She holds a bachelor's degree in accounting and a master's degree in taxation from University of Mississippi, where she served as vice president of finance and executive council for her Kappa Delta sorority and was honored as the university's outstanding graduate student. As a law student, she served as production editor and an editorial board member on volume 112 of the Kentucky Law Journal. Additionally, she earned 6 Cali Awards, which is an award given for the highest grade in a course. After graduation, Ms. Eichholz will join Bass, Berry & Sims in Nashville, Tennessee as a first-year associate. Please help me welcome Ms. Lauren Eichholz.
Good afternoon, everyone. I must admit, this feels like the scariest cold call of my life. In fact, I'd probably rather be in Civ Pro getting called on about specific personal jurisdiction at the moment. To the class of 2024, thank you for giving me the grace to represent you all on such a monumental occasion. This is the honor of a lifetime, and I am incredibly humbled by this opportunity. As I sit here and look out among my fellow graduates, I immediately spot about 20 of you that would be far better at this than I am, but nonetheless, you're stuck with me now. I decided on a whim to go to law school. I didn't pay my final seat deposit until late July after many threatening emails from the admissions committee. Sorry about that. Nonetheless, I was really excited. I told everyone my plans. Everyone was really excited and encouraging, except for the actual lawyers who had been to law school. They all responded with something along the lines of, well, I don't know why you would do that, or that's the worst decision you could ever make. Clearly, I took these warnings with a grain of salt as I stand before you today. But I've thought a lot about those conversations and what I would tell a young aspiring law student. I've decided that there's 3 things every person needs to know before going to law school. The first, don't let the imposter syndrome stop you. I'm sure all of you can recall the dreadful first orientation week spent on the 3rd floor of the law building. Those lectures seemed to drag on for about 4 days longer than they should have, but one in particular sticks out to me, and that was the lesson on imposter syndrome. I vividly remember sitting there thinking as the speaker spoke on and on about how badly imposter syndrome affects law students. I sat there and thought, doesn't really seem to be affecting me. Fast forward to our first week of classes, and I'm looking around the room. The guy next to me has a PhD, the one on the other side graduated college in 3 years, and the girl in front of me has already started her outline, and I don't even have my textbooks yet. I realized in that moment, I did in fact have a debilitating case of imposter syndrome. By the end of the semester, I was begging my professors not to fail me, even though they were assuring me that they haven't failed anyone in over 10 years. I'm sure many of you can relate. Unfortunately, for myself and my fellow sufferers, I don't think our imposter syndrome is cured by walking across this stage. Weeks from now, many of us will be saying, there's no way I can pass the bar. Months from now, many of us will be sitting in our offices thinking, there's no way I can win this case, close this deal, or help this client. When that inevitable time comes, think back to this moment. The joy, the pride, the satisfaction you felt in submitting that last paper, finishing that last exam, and receiving this diploma. You sit here today having accomplished the thing you once thought was impossible. We told ourselves for 3 years we couldn't do it, but we did. Use this moment as proof that sometimes you're the only person standing in your way. Each of you can and will go on to accomplish great things, just as you accomplished what many consider the hardest 3 years of their life. The second thing I would tell a future law student is that law school will change you, and you should let it. There's no doubt law school changes the way you think. For example, I now argue with my fiance exclusively using the IRAC method, and I win every time. But what I really mean is law school changed the way I think about the world. I don't even recognize the person who walked into these doors 3 short years ago, and I'm sure many of you feel the same way. I'm more critical, yet introspective, challenging, yet empathetic. And as much as I would like to attribute this change to the few thousands of pages I read during the past 3 years, I think it's much more than that. Part of it is attributable to the incredible faculty sitting behind me. You poured into each of us in the most intentional way, forced us to think critically about both legal theory and ourselves. You served as mentors, confidants, and friends. You led us with passion and wisdom, and we appreciate every moment. Except some of y'all could have been easier with some of those exams. However, most of the change in thinking over these past 3 years is attributable to the 135 people sitting in front of me. As we all know by now, law school is a unique microcosm of individuals. Each of you brings a different story, a different background, and a different experience to the conversation. And as much as we all despise the Socratic method, it allowed us to learn from each other, which I think is one of the most valuable experiences of law school. You all changed the way I view the world. You challenged me, inspired me, and transformed me into the person I am today. And I don't think I'm alone in that sentiment. That leads me to my third and final piece of advice to future law students, which is to lean on those around you. As we all know by now, law school is designed to pit each one of us against each other. We can only do as well as doing better than others, and we are constantly competing for jobs, for clerkships, and for recognitions. But nevertheless, we were able to rise above the rivalry and develop sincere and genuine friendships that feel as though they lasted a lifetime. They say trauma brings people together, and it seems like this 3-year hazing ritual did exactly that. But I would do it all over again if it meant I could do it with you all. This is the most passionate, thoughtful, and determined group of people I have ever had the honor of being around. Learning alongside you all over the past 3 years has been one of the great joys of my life. From the hundreds of hours spent within the 4 walls of the law school, to solving the world's problems during late-night bar reviews, to traveling 35 deep to Mexico, we've done it all. And we did it together. The victories, the struggles, the late nights, the early mornings, and the finish line we've arrived at today, in this moment, together. So as you prepare to walk across this stage, I challenge each of you to think about what you would tell an aspiring law student. Whether you hated the past 3 years, had the time of your life, or somewhere in between, I hope you would advise someone following in your footsteps that law school can change your life if you let it. Thank you.
To extend the greetings of the faculty, I present Professor Paul Salamanca. Professor Salamanca was selected by the graduating students to deliver remarks today on behalf of the faculty. Professor Salamanca joined the Rosenberg College of Law in 1995. He teaches in the areas of constitutional law and federal jurisdiction, which makes it surprising that he was selected to give the presentation on behalf of the faculty. He also serves as faculty advisor to our moot court board. Professor Salamanca writes in the areas of separation of powers, freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and privacy. He has published widely on these subjects in the University of Cincinnati Law Review, the Missouri Law Review, the Georgia Law Review, and the Kentucky Law Review, among others. Professor Salamanca served as a law clerk to Judge David H. Souter of the United States Court of Appeals for the First Circuit, and subsequently clerked for Justice Souter on the United States Supreme Court. Professor Salamanca is a Boston native. He holds a bachelor's degree from Dartmouth College and a law degree from Boston College Law School, where he was note editor for the Boston College Law Review and a member of the Order of the Coif, about which you will learn more later. I am pleased to introduce Professor Paul Salamanca.
Excuse me. Thank you, graduates of the class of 2024, for bestowing this honor on me. I think you all know how very much I care for all of you, and I can't tell you how much this means to me, so thank you. Wow, you've made it. Unless you're going into trust and estates, you'll never have to learn the rule against perpetuities again, except for the bar. And even if you become a litigator, you'll probably never have to learn about the well-pleaded complaint rule again. It's just a joke that people like me play on you. I gotta say though, I gotta tell you, hearsay is gonna come up. Unless you aren't a litigator. That will come up and that will stay thorny. What you've done is hard. As Lauren just told you, as Mary just told you, what you've done is hard. You've learned the law. From Scotland to New Zealand, from Florida to Seattle, it's all pretty much one legal system. You've learned it. Not every little bit of it, but you've learned the marrow of it. You may not realize how much you've learned, but you have. You're astoundingly knowledgeable about the law in comparison to people who have not done what you've done over the last 3 years. And you'll soon see how much you know as you prepare for the bar and as you get out there and practice, as you become aware of how much you can help your clients simply by knowing what you know and being who you are. You'll be amazed at how useful you can be to your clients. So it's been hard, and it may stay that way. As I say, the path you've chosen is not always easy. Your clients may have heart-wrenching dilemmas, and you may have to sit with them, knowing that they're having a heart-wrenching dilemma, and also knowing that you're there for them, but it's their dilemma, and you have to sit with them while they figure it out with your advice. Your client may be in big trouble. Your client may call you and say, the police have just arrested me, and I think I might be in trouble. And it's your job to advise them or to defend them to the best outcome possible. Your client may be trying to do something good and productive, but find himself or herself facing a mountain of red tape and needing your assistance. Your client may find him or herself on the wrong end of some event and come to you for protection or vindication. As I say, your path may not always be easy, but it will often be fun. There's a special feeling. I won't necessarily call it a cheerful one because it's not always a cheerful one, but it's a special feeling when you're sitting with your client and you understand in that moment how important you are to that person and how difficult a moment that person is having. That's part of being an attorney, and you will do it, and you will do well. So whether you become a litigator or a transactional attorney, or whether you give regulatory advice, please don't be afraid of having bold ideas. And don't be afraid of stating them boldly. Even young people can cut the Gordian knot. When there's a challenge in your life, and there will be many challenges, try to see the challenge as a blessing rather than a curse. Take a night off, or even a day off if you have to, but get back at it. Attack the challenge head on with gusto. Graduates of 2024, there are 4 people here today that I would like to ask you to help me recognize. First is my friend and colleague and boss, Dean Mary Davis. Dean Davis returns to the faculty on July 1st. She's brought us through 3 notable ordeals. First, she got us into the new building. That was not easy. Second, she got us through COVID. That was not easy. And third, she shepherded us through reaccreditation with the ABA. And I further affiant saith not. Let Dean Davis be a model for you. You will face ordeals in practice. As Lauren said, you will wonder, how will I ever win this case? Trust your instinct. Know the people to whom you can reach out in moments of difficulty, and you'll persevere the way Dean Davis has. The second person I'd like you to help me recognize is Associate Dean Jennifer Bird-Poland. Dean Bird-Poland has worked hard for all of us, and she's put her abundant passion into her work. She leaves us soon for Wayne State in Detroit. Wayne State's gain is our profound loss. But her passion for hard work should never be lost on you. The third person I'd like you to help me recognize is my friend and colleague, Professor Mark Keitlinger. Mark is as decent and kind an individual as I have ever had the honor and opportunity to meet. Mark has always loved the University of Kentucky Rosenberg College of Law, and he has always put everything he has into his teaching. Many students in this room and all over the place are the beneficiaries of his generous spirit. Let Professor Keitlinger also be a model for you. Be kind and generous with your clients and your colleagues. If you can, even be kind and generous with opposing counsel. You will make the world and the legal profession the better place that Mark is helping it be. Fourth, I'd like you to help me recognize a longstanding member of the faculty who is nearing retirement, my friend and colleague, Rick Underwood. Professor Underwood has taught generations of students. I had a number in there, but I wasn't sure of what number to have. The rules of evidence and the rules of ethics. He has also contributed powerfully to the bar in those regards. And he served our country in Vietnam. Our profession cannot survive without the kind of ethical, dedicated individual among us, such as Professor Underwood. Thank you for helping me joining with me in thanking these four individuals for the fine example that they have set for all of us. You can honor them and our profession by practicing law with passion, with kindness, with generosity, by remaining true to your ethical obligations, and by not backing down, even in the face of formidable challenges. Each of you has a very bright future in front of you, and I can say on behalf of my colleagues, we are overwhelmingly proud to have had the honor of being part of that. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Salamanca. Did he make you cry too? Just made me cry. And now, to extend remarks on behalf of the bar, I am pleased to present W. Fletcher Schrock, President of the Kentucky Bar Association. Fletch has been practicing law with the Paducah law firm of McMurray and Livingston, PLLC, since 1977. His practice over the years has focused on personal injury, criminal law, product liability, and general civil litigation in state and federal courts. Fletch graduated from the University of Kentucky in 1974 and the University of Kentucky College of Law in 1977, where he was a member of the Moot Court Board. He has served the Kentucky Bar Association on the Ethics Committee, the Ethics Hotline, the Rules Committee, and the Board of Governors. In 2013, he was named Pro Bono Attorney of the Year by the Lawyers Care Volunteer Attorney Program. Please join me in welcoming W. Fletcher Schrock.
Well, I appreciate so much this opportunity to speak to this law school graduating class of 2024. My theme this year as president of the Kentucky Bar Association has been to ask our lawyers of the KBA to consider what they owe, what we all owe to our profession, a noble calling. I think it's fair to say that our profession has taken its hits over the years. There seems to be more and more attacks against lawyers and judges and even the rule of law. And I think that our society still has a love-hate relationship with lawyers. We're the butt of lawyer jokes, and yet we're the first person they call when they need help. Maybe you've heard the joke that's not so funny that asks, what's 1,000 lawyers chained together at the bottom of the ocean? The answer they want you to give is it's a good start. But the truthful answer, the honest answer is, it is the death of democracy as we know it. The death of democracy as we know it. We need to restore the public's respect and confidence in our legal profession. When you become lawyers, you're going to take an oath to support the Constitution of the United States. You're going to take an oath to support the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Kentucky. You're going to pledge to faithfully execute your office to the best of your ability. Our rules of professional conduct are going to challenge you to further the public's understanding of and confidence in the rule of law and our justice system. And I believe that begins with each one of us. We need to model what it means to be a noble lawyer. If I were to ask you to name a character in fiction who best epitomizes what it means to be a noble lawyer, I bet many of you would name Atticus Finch from To Kill a Mockingbird. Many of you know the story. Atticus was a small-town Alabama lawyer in the 1930s. He volunteered to represent an honorable black man who was wrongfully accused of raping a white woman. It was an impossible case to win in 1930s Alabama. And yet he undertook the representation, vigorously defended his client, despite the attacks against himself and against his family, and he did so with civility, with diligence, with humility, and it wasn't about the money. It was never about the money. If you saw the film version of the movie starring Gregory Peck, you might remember the courtroom scene near the end of the movie. The guilty verdict is read. The accused is taken from the courtroom. The complaining witness and her father leave the courtroom through the central aisle. The audience files out. Atticus is there at counsel table gathering his papers. Up above, in the balcony, since it was 1930s Alabama, there sits the members of the black community. Seated with them are the children of Atticus Finch, Jim and Scout. They're seated next to the minister of that community. And as Atticus turns to leave down the central aisle of the courtroom and slowly walk out, one by one, those in the balcony begin to stand in reverence. Scout seems a little puzzled, and the minister turns to her and he says, "Stand up, Scout. Your father is passing." And the children stood. I believe that deep inside every lawyer who desires to be noble is a desire to see their family view them in the same light that these children viewed their father. And I believe that every lawyer who aspires to be noble desires to see the public view our profession in the same light. You see, the way Atticus conducted himself and the way he represented his client garnered respect. And maybe many of you became lawyers because you knew somebody like Atticus. I want to leave you today with this challenge. Press on with your career with the understanding that the practice of law is a noble calling to serve others. Be noble. Be noble. We owe that to our profession, and the public is watching. Thank you.
Thank you, Fletch. It is now time for awards. The Pro Bono Award. In 2015, the College of Law implemented a formal pro bono program to recognize those students who complete at least 50 hours of independent law-related public service prior to graduation. These students collectively volunteered 2,105 hours in pro bono service to the public while in law school. Please join me in recognizing the following members of this class who are Pro Bono Award recipients. As I call your name, Please stand and remain standing until all are called. I ask that the audience withhold your applause until all are recognized. Harper Blair Anderson. Anyeka Anosike. Madeline Reed Day. Annie Dietz. Cherish McKenna Derrickson. Hayden K. Hickey. Hope Hickey. Talia C. Hausman. Jessica Dawn Hutchings. Dylan James Keefe. Elizabeth Leathers. Olivia Manuel. Janvi Viral Patel. Emily M. Puckett. Morgan R. Sanchez. Claire Sandberg. Cameron Stewart. Desmond C. Varner Jr. Miles C. White. Alyssa N. Wiggins. And Haley Combs. The Order of the Coif. The Order of the Coif is the National Law School Honor Society, founded for the purposes of encouraging legal scholarship and advancing the ethical standards of the legal profession. Members of the Order of the Coif are selected by the faculty and include those graduating students ranked in the top 10% of the graduating class. I am pleased to announce that the following members of the 2024 graduating class have grade point averages that are sufficiently high that they are in the running for nomination and election to the order. Once grades are submitted for the spring semester just completed, we will elect the actual top 10% to the order. As I call your name in alphabetical order, please stand and remain standing until all are called. I ask that the audience withhold your applause until all are recognized. Jacob Baird. Eddie Bush. William Vincent Bosch. Caleb Benjamin Childers. Autumn Renee Clark. Ryan Crum. Billy J. Devericks II. Andrew Clay Edwards. Lauren Nicole Eichholz. Eric Farley. Daniela Foltz. Isabel Harrison. Hayden K. Hickey. Dylan James Keefe. Elizabeth Leeser. Shelton Elizabeth Owen. Emily M. Puckett. Nathaniel Lewis Ritchie. You may be seated. A number of years ago, our faculty had decided to recognize a graduating student who has contributed the most to the overall environment of our law school. The Faculty Cup is presented each year to the graduating student whose endeavors have made the law school a more interesting place in which to teach and a more pleasant place for faculty and students alike. The class of 2024's Faculty Cup recipient is described by their nominators as, quote, an ever-present force of pure positivity, and as a, quote, constant presence, ready to provide joy, encouragement, and advice to other students, faculty members, and staff. While at UK, this graduate was the recipient of the Lyman T. Johnson 2023 Torchbearer Award, which recognizes a student exemplifying the passion and courage exhibited by Mr. Johnson, who led racial desegregation efforts at the University of Kentucky. This student has been a leader in many student organizations and has been a fixture at the college through volunteering and service. This includes leadership roles in street law, the college's premier pro bono program focused on community outreach with local high schools to promote informed citizenship. Additionally, this graduate served as the first African-American president of the college's Trial Advocacy Board. In addition to his many activities and accomplishments, one of his nominators said he is, quote, kind to his classmates, committed to the institution, engaged with the faculty and staff, and just generally an all-around good citizen. This place will be the poorer for it when he graduates. Please join me in congratulating this year's Faculty Cup recipient, Desmond C. Varner, Jr. Desmond, please come to the stage to accept your award. Get the feels of pure positivity. I will now ask Associate Dean Jennifer Bird-Paulin and our two faculty hooders chosen by the graduating class, Professor Zachary Bray and Alan Klugel, to join me on stage. As Dean Bird-Paulin calls their names, the faculty members will place the doctoral hood over the head of each graduate. I will present the members of the class with certificates signifying attainment of the degree of Juris Doctor.
Corey Murray Agnoni. Angeli Rose Alamadine. Harper Blair Anderson. No. Onyeka Deborah Onasike. Omer Shabazz Arain. Sarah Catherine Oval. Jacob Thomas Baird. William Kirk Baird. Frederick Colton Barnes. Lindsay Elizabeth Bates. Mimi Bell. Eddie Bush. David Borders. William Vincent Bosch. Anthony Raymond Bradley. Jesse Kevin Britt. Brooklyn Nicole Brown. Jimmy Taylor Brown. Trevor James Burba. Frederick Noah Busrow. Mary Caroline Butler. Deanna Murray Camargo. Reese James Carter. Branham Chandler. Caleb Benjamin Childers. Autumn Renee Clark. Milka Abigail Cobb. Chantel Adia Cofield. Lily Jean Coyner. Haley Morgan Combs. Cameron Gregory Coyle. Aaron Ryan Crum. Madeline Reed Day. Kenneth Henry Decker. Christian Thomas Dieter. Annie Elizabeth Dietz. Kristen Renee De La Garza. Gabriel Dennery. Cherish McKenna Derrickson. Billy Joe Devericks II. Matthew George Dietrich. Nancy Kathleen Dudgeon. Andrew Clay Edwards. Lauren Nicole Eichholtz. Eric Hudson Farley. Madison Grace Fleckler. Daniela Angelica Foltz. Sarah Evelyn Garber. Haley Campbell Garcia. Zane Taylor Garrett Garner. Jonathan Christian Garnett. Mira Manoj Getia. Julia Rose Giordano. Wesley Frank Simpson Hammond. Holly Davidson Hammonds. Megan Elena Harrington. Isabel Cruz Harrison. Jody Ann Hennon. Jose Salvador Herrera Castro. Hayden Kyle Hickey. Nicholas Adam Hodges. Trevor Anderson Holsey. Talia Claire Hausman. Jalen Eugene Hurt. Jessica Dawn Hutchings. Mary Elizabeth Jocelyn. Sean Everett Johnson. Abigail Elizabeth Jolly. Yuha Jung. Jordan Alyssa Camp. Om Sharad Kanmadakar. Dylan James Keefe. Amanda Rose Kyleman. Jordan Caroline King. Katie Lynn Lagerstrom. Carl Peter Langenstroer. Sydney Page LaRue. Elizabeth Jane Leathers. Kara Nicole Legg. Elizabeth Leeser. Christiana Levis. Olivia Grace Manuel. Connor Alexander McCourt. Erin Nicole McQuarrie. Natalie Lynn Middleton. Nicholas Anthony Muto. Abby Jean Napier. Shelton Elizabeth Owen. Matthew Pakala. Tristan Jason Palmer. Delaney Jane Paneer. Bonnie Ganubai Patel. Janvi Viral Patel. Bailey Brooke Pierce. Justin Rick Potter. Emily Michie Puckett. Julia Alexandra Ray. Julie Dean Richards. Nathaniel Lewis Ritchie. Ryan Michael Ritchie. Jacob Robinson. Matthew Terrence Roddy. Garrison Lee Rosser. Emma Nicole Russell. Zach Dean Russell. Morgan Renee Sanchez. Claire Emiko Sandberg. Kaylee Elise Secor. DeMarco Michael Shango. Dwight Carter Skipworth. Cameron Page Hope Stewart. Lauren Elizabeth Stewart. Ariana Velasquez Strider. Bethany Chanel Thompson. Ethan Michael Tressler. Olivia Turner. Desmond C. Varner, Jr. Cooper Blake Voitel. Riley James Ward. Andrew Lane Weisgerber. Kara Murray West. Madison Shea Westermeyer. Rachel Elise Wheatley. Joseph Crawford White. Miles Christopher White. Alyssa Nicole Wiggins. Chance Robert Wilkinson. Caitlin Shayanna Joan Willis. Macy Elaine Young. Dean Davis, faculty, Mr. Rosenberg, friends and family, I'm pleased to present to you the University of Kentucky J. David Rosenberg Class of 2024.
Best day of the year. These courageous, passionate, resolute, committed, dedicated graduates of the UK Rosenberg College of Law are certainly to have an important, impactful lives as lawyers on their clients, their communities, the Commonwealth, and our society. Again, to our graduates, welcome to the profession, a noble calling, a noble calling. I know each one of you will continue to add to the nobility of our profession. I ask those on stage, my faculty colleagues, everyone in the audience to please join me once again in congratulating the class of 2024.